Hey, do you guys think it'd be weird if Dino didn't wear his mask during it?
Okay.
What do you think about that?
What's up?
What if Dino did not wear his mask during it?
Yeah, let's have him wear it during the introduction since we're standing next to each other. And then after I bounce, you can just take your mask off. What if I don't want to? What if I want to hide behind the mask? Well, that way.
Okay, sounds like a good plan. That way we can just hear it better on the iPad. Make sure to project.
Are we ready? Yeah. What are we going to ginger, obviously, yeah. What's up? Burger Susan? Yeah. This is going to be like 10 minutes. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, I got that. Take my gloves off and then, or take my mask off. Oh. All right. Welcome, everybody. It's a beautiful day here at 7 Summits Lodge with world-renowned chef Dino Cruz. He's going to be preparing poke tuna wonton today. A quick little 10-15-minute cooking demo. And then we're going to have a little snack at the end. So enjoy yourselves as usual. If you go on MTL, if you want the recipe card to make this at home, it should be up on there for you. And we'll turn the floor over to Dino Cruz. Hello, everyone. We're making a tuna poke, which is in this style. Oh, I'm going to pick one up. Okay, today we are preparing tuna poke, which is in the style of a ceviche, where the protein, the raw protein, is somewhat cured or cooked, and the salt and acid, or acid being rice vinegar, and our salt being hoisin and soy. So that's what we're going to do today. So we do have a nice bowl of crispy wonton chips here. There's a few things that you can do with the wonton chips. You can buy them pre-made in the chip aisle of your local grocery store, or perhaps Whole Foods. They should have them as well. Just wonton chips. Also, you can buy raw wontons and use your air fryer. Put them in there and get them all crispy in the air fryer for a healthier option. And I went ahead and did cut it myself and deep fried it in our deep fryer in the back kitchen here. So that's another option as well. So I just have them kind of nice and crispy. Took about a minute and a half. Really super fast in the deep fryer at 365 degrees. So we'll set that aside, and I have our bowl for the tuna poke that we're going to have. Once it's all finished, so everyone, if you do have the recipe cards, I doubled it. I went ahead and did twice as much, just because we are going to be using it for this week's special of the club here at the mantle. We are going to be doing miso salmon, which is I did a demo on it last Tuesday, or last Monday, I'm sorry. And we are going to feature it this week. And I'm going to make the, if you recall from last week's recipe, the miso salmon had a tuna poke dressing sauce that we used to saute the baby bok choy and the mushrooms in. So this week, we are going to make that sauce, and we are going to just use it for a different application. Okay, so I doubled the recipe, so I do have I quadrupled the recipe. It calls for a quarter cup of soy. Actually, tamari is what we're using, which is a gluten-free soy. So I times 4 the recipe. I went ahead and did 1 whole cup of tamari. And then we have just regular honey. Also quadrupled that, so it ended up being 2 cups of honey. You really want to make sure you get all a little extra in there. Just likes to get stuck. Just really handy. These little rubber spackles are very handy as far as the flexibility and being able to really scrape every little bit out of there. Okay. And then we have our rice vinegar. I use unseasoned, all natural rice vinegar. And then we have our hoisin. So this one should be available in the Asian aisle of your local grocery store as well. Okay. And then we are going to add sweet Thai chili sauce. Our toasted sesame oil. Last week we went through just the difference between toasted and not toasted sesame oil as far as the flavor concentration, as far as the color of it. And then we have a little sambal olik, which is a chili paste. We have our minced garlic and ginger combined in there. We have maybe whisk, which is going to mix it up a little bit, making sure that the honey's not stuck on the bottom there. So this is a very versatile sauce here. We use this recipe on a lot of things here at the club. For stir fry sauce, we've used it. We've used it for tuna poke. We've used it to marinate pork tenderloin or chicken breast or salmon even. It's just an all-around flavorful sauce that has many, many uses. Okay. So you just want to make sure it's incorporated. Now, if you do put it in the fridge, you know, I'm going to say about 2 weeks it should be good for. And also, it does tend to settle, so make sure if you put it in the fridge for a few days and then don't use it, you really want to stir it up again just because the density of the honey wants to kind of go to the bottom there. So you want to make sure you don't want it to separate. Then our green onions. Okay. And here I have our sashimi grade tuna. Go ahead. So really depending on how quickly you want to eat it, that's going to depend on how small you want to dice it, because you do want to give it about an hour or two. Really, I mean, you're more than welcome to eat it immediately, but to really get the essential flavors for the tuna, you know, at least an hour just sitting in it in the marinade that we just made. But as far as the how big we want to dice it, it depends on how much we want it to sit in the marinade. So if you're gonna, let's say, in a rush and you know you're gonna need to eat it in an hour, then you definitely want to dice it a lot smaller, so that way the marinade penetrates the tuna more quickly than it would so if it was a thicker piece. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. So this one we're just gonna go probably about a 1/4 inch dice. Now you want to make sure to use gloves on this. This is a ready-to-eat food product, so this isn't something that's going to get cooked at all. It will get cured slowly but surely in our marinade. I always like to slice against the grain of the tuna. Let me move this so you can see what's going on here. I forgot to kind of mention that. I always like to slice against the grain, as you guys can see. It's the lines are going this way on the tuna, so I just cut across it, like opposite of that. Okay. So this, yeah, you really need a very sharp knife with this, otherwise you're going to end up getting a little bit mangled just because it's so tender. So you want to make sure you're making nice, smooth slices there. This isn't something where you just kind of want to go chop, 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 chop all over the place. Something that you definitely want to make sure you're using a little bit more of a precision slicing, because you don't want to rough chop it and mangle it up. It won't have the same appealing look. All right, then we're gonna, after we strip it lengthwise, we're gonna slowly dice it this way, again, making sure we're not gonna be doing too much to mangle it, keeping it shape. So like a slicing motion helps. Just to ensure that our tuna is gonna stay diced. And again, you know, we can obviously eat it immediately after we toss in a little bit of the marinade. But to really get that full flavorful effect, soaking it in the marinade for at least an hour is definitely going to be more flavorful for you than eating it immediately. Just cover it in the refrigerator about an hour. 2 if you can spare it. Okay, so we have our tuna, we're going to put it in our bowl. I'm going to go ahead and take off my gloves here. The cutting board. Okay, so we have it's about a pound of tuna there. Or about 12 to 14 ounces, 3/4 of a pound. Again, I'm going to stir it just to make sure it didn't settle on us while we were slicing our tuna. And for that much, I'm going to probably use a half a cup. Maybe just another splash there. And then we're going to kind of toss it around gently with our spatula. So this is definitely going to be really tasty 2 hours from now, but for right now, it should still be okay and delicious. You really just want to make sure that the marinade is fully coating all the tuna pieces. Okay, and then we're going to have our last ingredient of lightly toasted sesame seeds. Toss it around in there. And that is it. Now, if you do have a little bit of extra marinade, again, I made this recipe, I multiplied it by 4, so the ones you guys got at home is going to make about 25% of this amount. But if you do have a little extra, like I said, plenty of things to use it in. Last a couple of weeks in your fridge. All right. And that was pretty quick and easy. We didn't apply any heat to our cooking method today. But sometimes you don't have to. And we are doing a version of a ceviche where, again, we are cooking the protein in acid and salt, which is soy, hoisin, and a little bit of that rice vinegar as well. All right. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and put it in this bowl and just kind of let it sit there, wrap it tightly, and then enjoy it. But I'm going to go ahead and have a piece right now just to make sure we have enough marinade in it. It definitely looks like we do, but it's always fun to just try it. Delicious. All right. Thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you guys next week. Thank you.